स्वागतं बुधवासरः सायंकालः एकविंशः दिनाङ्कः 21st of September Wednesday व्याकरणं समासविचारः गतिसमासविचारः अवसरोऽस्ति चेत् उपपद समासविचारः अपि भविष्यति। प्रथमतः मङ्गलाचरणं। रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमू रामाय तस्मै नमः। रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने श्रीराम नाम वरानन उन्नम इति। अथ श्री माहेश्वर सूत्राणि। अ इ उन् ऋ ए ओङ् ऐ औच ह य व रट् लण् ञ म ङ ण नं ज बै घ ड दश् ज ब ग ड दश् ख फ छ ठ थ छ ट थ व क पै श ष सर् हल् इति माहेश्वर सूत्राणि। Last time we started this topic of gati samasah. After this, if we have time, yadi avakasho labhyeta. If we have time, then we can look at the upapada samasa, which is the last part of this chapter. We are on page number 133, adho bhage, on the bottom part. So it talks about the adverbial expression. Adverbial because they are coupled with, but this kriya yoga, anuvritti of kriya yoga goes down from here. So we have in Ashtadhyayi, we have studied these rules in the daily examples, this section of pragrishvaran nipataha chadayo sattve pradayah upasarga kriya yoga. So the pradis, which are, when they are kriya yoga, they are called upasarga. The same pradis kriya yoga, again kriya yoga, get the gati sanya. But the gati sanya extends to the next about 20 rules, goes all the way down to te prag dhatoho, up to that, prior to that. It's all kriya yoga. It's all happening kriya yoga. So that's why this book says adverbial expressions. So one more time is that pragrishvara nipata. Of course, all nipatas get the avya sanya, but swarad nipata muvyam. So all the which you're going to see today, they're going to get the nipata sanya by pragrishvara nipata and avya sanya by swarad nipata muvyam. So this actually, you know what, maybe all of these may not go in kriya yoga, but kriya yoga definitely goes for the uryadi chvi rachascha, this one 61, which is what we saw last time, and then 62 also kriya yoga. I'm seeing coming up to 62 kriya yoga. So anyway, uryadi chvi rachascha definitely has kriya yoga, which is what we looked at last time. And so in the Siddhanta Kaumudi, this 1461 to 1479 is taken in the same order, Teneva Kramena, in the same order, Ashtadhyayi Kramena, same order, and that is number 762 to 780 in the Siddhanta Kaumudi. That is a section over here in Siddhanta Kaumudi, from 762 Uryadi Chvidachascha up to the 780 Jiviko Upanishada Opamye, Jiviko Upanishada, Jivika and Jivika Upanishad, Jivikam Krutva. So Jiviko Upanishada Vopamye, Jiviko Upanishada Vopamye, up to that point. Okay, so what is Uryadi Chvidachascha? I think we saw it last time. Says this, Ete Kriya Yoga Gati Sanyasyu. In fact, we have seen this sutram already when we introduced the Pratyaya Chvi. Chvi Pratyaya, when we saw this Shukli Kritya, Shukli Bhutva, Shukli Karoti, all that, because we needed this sutram back there itself, because this Chvi is included in this Uryadi is a Ganaha. So Uri, etc. And then Chvi and Dach are two Pratyayo. So it means that those ending in the Pratyaya Chvi and Pratyaya Dach, so they also get the Gati Sanya. So Ete, Kriya Yoga, Gati Sanya Syuhu. So all these terms means the terms in the Uryadi Ganaha, in the those ending in the Pratyaya Chvi, Tadit Pratyaya Chvi, and the Tadita Pratyaya Dach, they all get the Gati Sanya. And then they can, if they are going with a Tingantam Padam, they will Te prag dhatoh. Te prag dhatoh. They will sit before the dhatu. For example, uri karoti means he accepts, svi karoti, he accepts. But if they are with a krudantam, then they will form a samasaha with the tatpurusha, vishesha tatpurusha samasaha, kugati pradayaha, kugati pradayaha. Kugati pradayaha, those with gati sanya, they will form a tatpurusha samasaha. This is a nitya samasaha because they will not be a sapada vigraha vakyam. Sapada vigraha vakyam will not be there, so we have to express this in other terms. So that's called the kugati pradaya gati samasa, which is what we're talking about right now. So this is not in the book, taken in the Antoine Book order, because in the book I think he has taken satkru, asatkru he has taken first, alankru, puraskru, astam, tirospo. I think we come down to here sakshat kru in the book. In that mithya kru. So these we are going to be using the uryadi chvidachishtas. We're not in the book order. We'll come back to these when we see the sutra order. We'll come back to the book order. So let's read down below. Chvidacho krubhasti yoge vihitau. So chvi and dach, which we saw the chvi already 5-4-50 we have seen. And the dash bhati also comes after that, which is not in the book right now. Abhutatadbhave krubhasti yoge. That's what we have seen. And then I think somewhere below here, let's see, pratyaya da should also be somewhere here. Yeah, here it is. Avyaktanukaranad dvyajavarardhad Vijavarardhad anitau dach. Pratyaya dach is coming over here. So this 5-4-57. Avyaktanukaranad divyajavarardha danitau dach. Anyway, so these are going to be krubvasti yoge. So what is this Vyakhyan is saying is that chvidacho krubvasti yoge vihitau. They are only they come under the condition that there has to be yoga in connection with dhatu kru bhuvaras. That's sahacharyat. Sahacharyat means association with the chvi and dach. Uryadinam api tatraiva gati sanya. So this uryadi get gati sanya only when they are krubvasti yoge. Only with these three, because sahacharya, because they use in the same sutram accordingly. So by association. Now, but in the dhatu vritti, Madhavadi Granthi, this is from Tattvabodhini by the way, it's from Tattvabodhini Tika. Tattvabodhini is excellent Tika on Siddhanta Kaumudi. So definitely keep that. A little bit difficult to read, but it's well worth looking up Tattvabodhini. So whatever Siddhanta Kaumudi is very brief. Whatever Tattvabodhini kind of adds on to that. So this has the same authority. The Tattvabodhini Tika has kind of the same, almost the same authority as the Siddhanta Kaumudi. So Madhavadi Granthetu, it's also a recent one. It's not that old. It's only 200-300 years old, Tattvabodhini. Well, maybe 300-400 years old, but still recent. Considering the Vyakarana Itihasa, it's recent. So Madhavadi Granthe means in the Dhatu Vritti of Madhava, he says that Avehi Pradush Shabdau Muktva Anyesham Karotinaiva Yoge Gatisanya. That only the Pradus and Avis and Pradus, they will go Krubvasti Yoge. The others will only be Kru Yoge. Karotina Eva Gatisanya. So we can generalize for the most part anything other than Avis or Pradus in the Uryadi Ganaha will go with Dhatu Kru only. Only Avis and Pradus can, like Avir Bhavati, so Avir Bhuya. So they will go with Bhu and As also. So that is the thing. So anyway, they are definitely Krubvasti Yoge, and barring the Avis and Pradus, they are mainly only Kru Yoge. So the examples which you saw here are this Pradur Bhuya, Avir Bhuya. Now what happens is that the prayojanam of the Gati Sanya, one of the prayojanam is to get the Lyap Adesha. We're going to see in detail down here, but just to give you a heads up, we can, the sutram which is Samasanyang Purve Kto Lyap, that sutram requires a samasa and do a Lyap Adesha. See, the sutram is 7.137, is that in the if you have to make a prayoga like avir bhuya, having manifest, having become apparent, having appeared, pradur bhuya. So now when we take the dhatu bhu sattayam, first we'll add the pratyaktva by saman kritikyoh purva kale, pratyaktva will come bhutva, and then after that when we make a gati samasa with the avis, because avis is the gati sanya by uryadi chvida chashcha. Then what we'll do is that when we get the compound, the twa will take the lyap adesha by samasenyang purve tvolyap, samasenyang purve tvolyap. We get the form avir bhuya. Of course, in the meanwhile, avis is an avyam because it's got nipata sanyana. It's in the adhikara of pragrishwara nipataha. It's an avyam, swaradi nipatam avyam. All of this should be very familiar to you. It's already been covered in daily examples many times. So avyatvat supluk. So we get the avyadapsupaha. So avis gets the padasanya because pratyay lope pratyay lakshanam suptingantam padam. So avis will get the padasanya. Visasajisho ruho become avir bhuya. So one more time, I put the details just below, so we'll go through this again. But here, the example given in the book, I think, is pradur bhuya, avir bhuya. These are because the 7137 is what is doing the lyap adesha. And then because pradus got the padasanya, pratyay lopi pratyay lakshanam suptingantam padam, you get sasajushoruhu pradur bhuya, avir bhuya means having manifest, having appeared, having become apparent. Now udari kritya, uri kritya, basically swikritya means to accept. All these avyas, whether you can always refer to Avya Kosha, fantastic reference book. You can also refer to Bhaimi Vyakhya, volume 1 at the Prishtabhage. At the end of volume 1, Shastriji has put a very nice Avya Kosha there. So all the meaning, you can look at Aptya dictionary also, but you can to get the meanings of what these words mean, what this means. Angikare means to accept. So if you're just looking at the book Uri Kritya, actually I'm not seeing it in Shastriji's book. Uri Kritya. Let me see. Let me look at the Avya Kosha. I should have it. Uri Kritya. I think it should be Angikara, should be the meaning. Okay. Ururi Kritya. Ururi also is there. And who is there? And also Uri should also be there. Yeah. Uri. Angikara Vistara also might be, but mostly Angikare. Uryadishu drashtavyam idam. Okay, so means basically swikritya, angikritya, having accepted. Here also what's happening here is that we get the pratyaktva by 3421, saman kritikyo purvakale, lyappadeshaha by 7137, samasanyang purve kto lyap. By the way, these two we have seen repeatedly in a daily example. We've seen many times in daily example. These two, the combination of 3421 and 7137. So if you want to look up some examples, you can look at a lot of examples. A lot of these are here. This is so because here the twa pratyaya is used when we have the same doer doing two actions, and takes a lyappa adesha when you get the samasa. So many just search for 7137. You get a lot of examples. You get over there. Finally, we get the tuk agamaha over here. Tuk agamaha because of rasvasya pitikriti tuk. Rasvasya pitikriti tuk. This is right before the sutram. Anantaram purvam sutram. Samhitayam. Samhitayam starts from 6172. Right before that we have rasvasya pitikriti tuk. Rasvam, it has to be ach. So rasva ach. We take a tuk agamaha. So piti kriti parataha. So when there is a pit krit pratyaya following, then the rasva ach will take the tuk agamaha. So here when we had the pratyaya lyap came in here, that's a pit. Also, because of sthanivat bhava, it got the krit sanya, because it came in the place of the pratyaktva. Tva is prescribed with 3421. Krudating starts from 3193. So the pratyaktva had the Kritsanya Sthanivad Bhava, the Lyap Adesha also the Kritsanya is a Pit Krit. So Pitikriti, Rastvasya Pitikriti Tuk, Tuk Agamaha Adyantau Takitau, Anubandalope, so Urari Kritya, Uri Kritya. So these are four which are in the book over here, which are here. So this one are coming, there's a typo in the book, should be Urari Kritya. It's not Urari, but Urari Kritya and Uri Kritya. These two.
Satish,
Yes, sir.
in the Siddhanta Kaumudi on Uryadi Chveda section, there is a Vartikam there, Karika Shabdasya Upasantyanam.
Yeah, Karika Shabdasya, correct. But that is not very commonly used. So Karika Shabdasya Upasamkhyanam. Karika is a Kriya. So Karika Kritya. So Karika Kritya, I guess having made an action, I guess Karika Shabdasya Upasankhanam. So that so not only is Uryadi, but the Karika Shabda should also be included in this one. I don't know what exactly the meaning might be given for that. Let me see what meaning Vasu gives. It says Karika is a Kriya. So
that's what it says Kriya here. Karika Kritya is the result.
Karika Kritya.
Karika is Kriya.
I have never heard of that. So it says that Kriya Yoga Ityanena Karika Shabdasya Visheshanat Shloka Vachau Karika Shabdo. No, it can also mean Shloka, by the way. That's why I see everything is interesting thing, by the way. Kriya Shabdasya Atra Maryada Sthitir. Oh, Yatne Ityanye. Okay, anyway, okay, since you brought this up, see, as I said to you, every word is Siddhanta Kaumudi. Every single word, the Siddhanta Kaumudi, is chosen with extreme care. Extreme care. Like in Kachika also, Mahabhashyam also, but Siddhanta Kaumudi. Because why did Bhattoji have to say Karika Kriya? What's the reason for that? Well, this is not in the book, and I have not seen this word ever being used in this sense. But anyway, just to appreciate the precision of Bhattoji Dikshita, is why does he say that? Karika Kriya. Because normally a Karika is like a Shlokaha, So he says that it could mean like Karikas, like we have these different, for example, we see like Karika, like, in the back of,
Sankhya Karika is an example.
Sankhya Karikas, all these kind of, these verses, which mean something. Actually, if we can look in Apte only, we can get a good thing of what Karika might mean. So Karika, so that is not the meaning to be taken here. That is why he says, that Karika is a Kriya. So the reason for Bhattoji saying Karika is a Kriya is you don't take the more common meaning of Karika, which is like a verse, like a shloka basically. So that is not the meaning over here. So it says Karika. So if you take at Karika, it says that a female has a memorial verse, collection of such verses on grammatical, philosophical, or scientific subjects. So Bhattoji himself has Karikas. Bhattoji himself has Karikas. Vaiyakana Siddhanta Karika. Sankhya Karika. But that is not the meaning over here. It says that might be in a business or a trade, maybe some. So if you look at so that's why I'm saying don't take that meaning of Karika as that memorable verse. That's not the meaning here. So if you look at the Tattvabodhini, it says that Kriya iti Kriya yoga nityanena Karika shabdasya visheshana. It's just to be Kriya yoge. It's just to be Kriya yoge. So that's why I'm saying how do we get this meaning of Kriya? From where Bhattoji finds this meaning of Kriya? Because it says to be Kriya yoge. So then if you just take it as shloka, it will not give a good meaning like that. So then it says what could the meaning be? It says Karika, it says shloka vachi Karika shabdottana griyate iti bhavaha. Kriya shabdas, a lot of typos here. Kriya shabdas yatra maryada sthitir ityartaha. Maryada sthiti is put in the proper bounds, proper limits, put in the proper place, within maybe proprietary, within proper limits. Yatne iti anya. Some others say it might mean an effort is Karika. So anyway, this word is not commonly used, but since you brought up the point, interesting to see how it might be interpreted. So this is Vartikam. This is not in the book, and I don't think it's a very common word. So it says, and that's in the Siddhantikam is number 762. 762. It says that क्रिया योग इत्यनेन कारिका शब्दस्य विशेषणात् श्लोकवाची कारिका शब्दोत्र न गृह्यते क्रिया शब्दस्यत्र मर्यादा स्थितिरित्यर्थः यत्न इत्यन्ये. Anyway, okay. So where were we? So we're looking at, so we got urari kritya, and then what happened is that then we moved on to this thing about sakshat prabhuti nicha. This is number 1474. This is not the next sutram at all. In the Ashtadhyayi, we have 1461 is Uryadi Chvidachascha. And then while we're going to jumping to 1474, there's a connection between these two. Because this word Avir and Avis and Pradus are repeated in the Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha. Now what's the reason for repeating them in Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha? Let's look at that, okay? So that's the connection between the Uryadi Chvidachascha, because the Uryadi has the Avis and Pradus, which we just saw right now, Pradur Bhuya, Avir Bhuya. It also has in the Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha. Now what's the reason for repeating them? What does the Sutram say? Sakshat Prabhuti Tadar Ganaha. It's a Ganaha, it's a list of words. Beginning with the word Sakshat. Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha. So Krinyi Va. So these are only with connection with Dhatu Kru. Kru Dhatu Yoge. So and there are two Va optionally. The Uryadi they were Nitya. Gati Sanya. But this is only Vikalpena Gati Sanya Prapyate Atra. So Gati Sanya Nisyo. So these words are Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha. They only get the Gati Sanya. So Kru Dhatu Yoge. So only with the Kru. So Dukrin Karne. Only with that one. And then there's also, they only get it optionally. Not only that, Chvirthe iti vachyam is a vartikam on that. You know this pratyaya chvi which we saw, abhuta tadbhave, etc. Only in that meaning only the sakshat prabhuti will get the gati sanya optionally, only with connection with dhatu kru. It's very limited, quite tight conditions here. This has to be with connection with use with dhatu kru only. It will be only optionally gati sanya. And it has to be chvirthe, in that meaning, abhuta tadbhave, in that meaning it has to be there. So now what's happened is that, this is the gana by the way. Sakshad, mithya, chinta, bhadra, lochana, vibhasha, sampatka, and so on. Then there are also 5 words here, lavanam, ushnam, shitam, udakam, adlik, lavanam kritva, having made salty. Ardram kritva, having made wet. Shitam kritva, ushnam kritva, having made hot. So having made it cold. So says you can also say shitam karoti. He makes it cold. So gati sanya, and then what happens is that these are gati sanya sanniyogena. This is within this gana partha, within this gana of sakshat prabhutini. There is these pancha shabdaha mantaha pathyante. They are makaranta shabda. So gati sanya sanniyogena. When they get the gati sanya, lavanadinam, these 5 words, lavanam, ushnam, shitam, udakam. This is not in the book. The book doesn't have any of these. Lavanadina, panchana, makarantatvam nipatyate. By nipataha, they get the mantatvam. They become makaranta shabda. So because the word ushna is in use, lavana is used in the language. Of course, all of these are used in the language. But here when they get the gati sanya, then they also get the nipatanam as the mantatvam. So mantatvam nipatanat. So they are given as ending in makara. So you will not say lavana kritya, you say lavanam kritya, having made salty, lavanam kritva. And then there are some others, and then there's also pradus, namas, and avis. But these two are repeated between the Uryadi and this Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha. Also an Akriti Ganaha. So we can even extend this based on the usage in the language. If you see something being used in connection with Dhatu Kru, and it is in the Chvirthe, it has taken the Gati Sanya, then Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha, you can extend this Ganaha. Let's take the example. It says Sakshat Kritya, Sakshat Kritva. Now both are possible because when the Gati Sanya Bhava Pakshe, Gatisanya bhava pakshe. When you don't have gatisanya, then we will not get any samasa with kugati pradeyaha. Lyapadesho na bhavati. So gatisanya bhava pakshe lyapadesho na bhavati. Gatisanya pakshe eva lyapadesha bhavati. So lyapadesha will only come when you have the gatisanya. If you don't have gatisanya, then there will be no lyapadesha. Now you see why this like avis and pradus were included here, because they would have got the gatisanya nityam by uryadi chvirajascha. But you wanted gatisanya only vikalpena. If they are in connection with dhatu kru and chvirthe, like so avishkritya, having manifest, having made something manifest, having made apparent, having made directly manifest. So now you would have had only one form there, but you want two forms over there. So that is why they're repeated. So he says, and the meanings, we'll come to that below. I have it in the document below. So sakshat kritya, sakshat kritva. So there are these two possibilities because gatisanya is only va. It's only optionally. So when we get the gatisanya, we get the kugati pradeha, and then we get the samasinyang purvek, so lyap adesha. Gatisanya bhava pakshe, lyap adesha na bhavati. So asakshat bhutam yatha sakshat bhavati tatha krutva ityartha. This is the abhutatad bhave. Something which was not directly manifest, which was not directly apparent. Sakshat means directly apparent. So somebody made that directly apparent. So asakshat bhutam yatha sakshat bhavati tatha krutva. Having made something directly manifest, directly apparent. That's what sakshat kritya, sakshat kritva. So really mithya kritya, having falsified. Mithya kritya, mithya kritva, same thing. This is in the book. So these are now in the book here. I'm saying we're not going in the order in the book over here because this is not in the Ashtadhyayi order. So this Avirbhuya we saw in the Uryadi. Remember the Sakshat Prabhuti is only Kriyi, only with Dhatu Kru. So this Avirbhuya is going to be Uryadi Chvirajascha. This Avish Kru, we're going to fit it in the Sakshat Prabhuti. If you got Vikalpena Gatisanya. So Pradurbhuya is going to be Uryadi Chvirajascha because we cannot use Sakshat Prabhuti. That's only Kru Yoge, Kru Dhatu Yoge. Namaskru is we're going to have it here because we just saw that one. Namaskru is in this Sakshat Prabhuti Nigaraha. We're going to come to that. That's the one in the Gita, by the way. That Namaskru, so we can remember this sutram Sakshat Prabhuti Nicha, the Bhagavad Gita. Namaskuru. Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Mame Vaishyasi Yuktvaevam Atmanamat Parayana. So it comes in Gita in two chapters. The same line. Pankti. This line comes in two places. Navami Adhyaye. Charama Shloka, then last shloka of chapter 9. Manmanavo madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishyasi yuktvaevam atmanam atparayana. So namaskuru is here. Namaskuru. Now, why should this be a, we'll come to this in detail in a second. So here's come madhyaji mam namaskuru. And also in the end of the Gita, you have this also form, the same form. Manmanavo madbhakto madhyaji ma namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyante. So also namaskuru is here. Okay. So now so in the book we have the namas is there. We have I think mithya is here. Mithya kru to falsify. Namaskuru to salute. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Namaskritya. Muritriyam namaskritya tadukti viparibhavicha.
Yes, namaskritya.
But namaskritva is not there, right?
There's a problem there. Namaskritva comes in Gita, by the way. Namaskritva bhuja evaha krishnam. So I'm going to leave that one. I was avoiding that one. But okay, now since you brought it up, let's look at that one. Namaskritva bhuja evaha krishnam sagadgadam bhita bhita pranamya Arjuna vacha. Namaskritva bhuja eva, chapter 11. Anyway, that's Namaskritva. Okay, let's just hold on to the question for 1 minute. I'm going to come to that. Okay, we'll come to that. So in the book here we have from the Uryadi Ganaha, we are going to use the Avirbhuya, Pradurbhuya. We got the Urari Kritya, Uri Kritya. That's all we got so far. Now, yeah, the Shraddha is going to come in the Sakshat Prabhutini. Shraddha Kritya, Shraddha Kritva. Means having something, made something trusty, which was not trusty, made it trusty. trustworthy, trustful. Now Sakshat Kru, obviously in the Sakshat Pravritti nature is going to come. Mithya Kru is also coming here. And Namaskru we're going to look at it in detail. Avishkru. Avishkru. Okay, so these. Avishkru in Sakshat Pravritti. Namaskru, Mithya Kru, Sakshat Kru, Shraddha Kru. Okay. Now, looking at the detailed steps we have here. Okay. Now, Namaskritya is coming in 8.3.40 also in Gita. Okay, 8.3.40 of Gita also we have, no, I'm sorry, not 8.3.40 of Gita. We have 8.3.40 Sutram Namaskritya. Let's go down for a second let's look here for 1 second. Okay, we'll come to that. What happening is, how do we get the Sakara Adesha is the question over here. Because if you have Namas, just as before, Namas is in Avyayam. Avyad Apsupaha Supluk 2482. Then you get the Pratyaya Lope Pratyaya Lakshanam Suptingantam Padam. The Sakara, Padanta Sakara. So Sasajushoruhu Karavasanayor Visarjaniyaha. So you have Namaha Kritya. And normally you should have had only Visargaha or the Jivva Mulya by this Kuppoha Kafpaucha. That's what should have happened. Should have happened, right? Should have had only the Visargaha Atva Pakshe Jivva Mulya by the Kuppoha Kafpaucha. But now in the Sutram where it says that Namas Puras Sor Gatyoho. When Namas or Puras have the Gati Sanya, then they take the Sakara Deshaha, Kuppo Prataha. So when the Kavarga or Povarga follows, it has to be a Kar because you only got the Visarga in the first place by Karavasana or Visarjaniya. So Kuppuham has to be Kra, Kha, Pa, Pa. So the Kar letters of the Kavarga, the Povarga, when they follow, then when Namas or Puras has the Gati Sanya, then only they will get the Sakara Desha. The Visarga of Namas or Puras will get the Sakara Desha. So now the problem in Gita is that, which I think was referring to, we have the form Namaskritva in Gita. The problem here is that this Sakara Desha can only come Gati Pakshe. Because Panini clearly says Namas Purasor Gatyoho. So Gati Pakshe Sakara Desha Bhavati. Okay. Then is this a Gati Sanya? If it's a Gati Sanya, then we should have had the Lyapa Adesha, the Namaskritya. Because Samasanyam Purve Kto Lyapa by 7137. So unfortunately in the Gita, this we have to take it as a Arsha Prayogaha. This Namas, if you look at the Bhashyakara or Sridhara Swami, they will say Namaskritva equals Namaskritya. The form that was expected according to Vyakaranam was Namaskritya, not Namaskritva. So this is the form that we need. One more time. The problem here is that this Sakara Desha, Visargasya Sakara Desha Bhavati, Gati Pakshe. Gatyoho. Namaspurasoho Gatyoho. Only when Gati Sanya is there. If the Gati Sanya is there, then we should have had the Lyapa Desha, Bekugati Pradeha, Samasanya Purve Kto Lyapa. Should become Namaskritya. So you should not have the form Namaskritva at all. Because Kritva means this Gati Sanya Nasti. Gati Sanya Nasti chet Sakara Desha na Sambhavati. Cannot have Sakara Desha. So we have to change this form in the Gita. We have to think of it like Namaskritya. So that's the problem with this Gita shloka. Namaskritva bhuya eva krishnam sagadgadam bhita bhita pranamya. Anyway, it's not Bhagavan Uvacha, so we can change it. It's Namaskritya should be the correct form because Sakara will only come Gati Pakshe will become a Samasa will Lyapa Desha in Namaskritya. Otherwise, Namaskru is fine. We have used that because here Namas has the Gati Sanya, Te Prak Dhatoho is not a Samasaha. So this one is fine. So here we can happily use the 8340 Namaspurasor Gatyoho. Now, this is what I've started over the Shraddha. Okay, these one we saw. Now, we talk about the Pradur. This is from the commentary on the Ganapatha. So Vyakhyanam. We have this Pradur iti Prakashye. So Pradur is an avyam. Pradus. Prakashye means to make manifest, to make apparent. So Pradur. So it's Prakashye, to manifest basically. So Uryadi Patitasya. Asya atra means sakshat prabhuti gane. in the Saksha Pravritini, in that Atra Asmin Gane Patha Chvirtha Vivakshayam, when it's in the Chvirthe, Kri Yoge, Vibhashaya Gatitvarthaha. Now you get the Vibhasha Gati Sanya. When it is Kri Yoge and Chvirthe. So Chvirthe Kri Yoge, Vibhashaya Gatitvarthaha. So to get the Gati Sanya Vibhashaya, that's why this Pradus and Avis are included in the Saksha Pravritini Ganaha, even though they're already in the Uryadi Ganaha. Otherwise you will not get the form Sakshat, I'm sorry. So you can not get the form, Avishkritya. Avishkritva you will not have got. If this was not included in the Saksha Pravritini Ganaha, you would not get the form Avishkritva. Because the Avishkritva, there is the Gati Sanya is not there. This is not because you don't have a Gati Samasaha, so you don't have the Kugati Pradya. Only Trepate Paragdhatoho you have. So you don't have the Gati Sanya over here. So Avishkritva no Gati Sanya. So actually then even then so there's no Gati Sanya, then there's actually no Te Pragdhatoho either. So they all come in with the Gati. So if there's no Gati Sanya at all, then there is no Lyappa Adesha. In fact, there's no Te Pragdhatoho either. They only call Gati Sanya. So now, so you have two forms, Pradushkritya, Pradushkritva. Here this is the Pradus is an Avyam. Same thing here, Avyatvat Supluk by Avyad Apsupaha, 2482. Then Pratyalopi Pratya Lakshanam Suptingantam Padam Padasanyasa Sajishoruho Karavasana Visarjaniyaha. You also should have had only the Kuppuha Kafpaucha, what should have had. But Sutram 8341, which I think we have seen before, Ikar, so Vidudupadasya Cha Pratyasya. Sutram is Vidudupadasya Cha Pratyasya. So, like Dushprapa Itime Matihi. Dushprapa comes in Gita, chapter 6, Dushprapa. What this sutra says is that Vidudupadasya Cha Pratyasya. So, if you have a Visarga, whose penultimate, the prior letter is either the Rasva Ikara or Rasva Ukara, Idudupadasya. Cha Pratyasya should not be the Visarga from a Pratyaya. We say Harihi Karoti. It will not become Harish Karoti. It will not become Harish Karoti. We say Guruhu Pashyati. It will not become Gurush Pashyati. It will become Guruhu Pashyati, become the Upadmaniya, but it will not get the Murdanya Shakara Adesha. So Murdanya Shakara Adesha only comes and the condition is Apratyasya Visargaha. So if it's a Visarga coming from Pratyaha, means the Prathama Ekvachanam Su Pratyaha, then this is not applicable. It's 8341. So one more time. Just look at the vritti itself clearly. It says that Ikaropadasya, Ukaropadasya cha Apratyasya Visarjaniyasya Murdanya Shakara Adesho Bhavati Kuppoho Parataha. Same thing, Kuppoho. Here also same thing is the Visarga. It came in the first place on the condition that it says Karavasanayo Visarjaniya. So the Kar letter is there. So even this is Kuppoho, it really means the Kar letter of Kavarga, Pavarga means Ka, Ka, Pa, Pa. Ka, Ka, Pa, Pa. So basically if you have a Visarga preceded by Rasva Yekara, Rasva Ukaraha, followed by Ka, Ka, Pa, Pa, and that Visarga did not come from Pratyaya Sakaraha, then in that case you get the Murdanya Shakara Adeshaha. And when does this condition happen? The Vyakhyanam gives us that. This Nir, Dur, Bahir, Avis, Chatur and Pradus. Only these 6 terms, Nir, Dur or Nis, Dus, Bahis, Avis, Chatur and Pradus. Only these 6 words in the language can give this condition of a Sakara which is not a Pratyaya Sakaraha, which is preceded by a Rasva Ikara, Rasva Ukara. That's only possible with these 6 words. Nis, Dus, Bahir, Avis, Chatur, Pradus. Only this. That time we're talking about Avis and Pradus. We're talking this one. So it's like Dushpurushaha, Nishpapaha. So all these words come from this. This is a very important sutram. Idudupadasya cha pratyasya. But we say Harihi Karoti, that Sakara, this is the Visargajanya Sakara. It comes from Visargaha. So it is not coming It will not be harish karoti. It will not be like that. So pradishkritya, pradishkritva. Now this adesha is not dependent on the gati sanya. This murdani shaka, this varna niyamaha. It's not dependent on gati sanya for pradusvanars. In both cases, pradishkritya, gati sanya, kugati pradeha, samasanyam purve ktolya, prasvasya piti katituk. One more time. Gati sanya, kugati pradeha, samasa vidhanam, samasanyam purve ktolya, yapadesha, rastasya piti katituk, tuk agama, tatpaschat, vidudupadasya chapratyasya, udhanya shakaradesha. So you get pradushkritya, pradushkritva, aprakasham, prakasham krutva ityartaha. Something which has not come to light, so he brought it to light, made it apparent. Something which was not manifest, not apparent, making it apparent. Is prakasham, prakasham krutva. Similarly, avishkritya, avishkritva, also in these two ganas. So that's what these are two ganas that we saw. Uryadi chvidachascha. So the Uryadi ganaha, they get the gati sanya, and they also krubvasti yoge sahacharyat with chvi and dach. And there also Madhava says that barring avis and pradus, the others are only be kru yoge. Then so that we got pradur bhuya, avir bhuya, urari kritya, ugri kritya, etc. Then we moved on to this saksha pravrutin, because there is an overlap between avis and pradus that's required, because we have to get the form like pradush krutva and avish krutva. We will not get that form unless we can avoid the gati sanya, so we can get the vibhasha gati sanya. So then if it's in chviyarthe and kru dhatu yoge, krinyo, krinyi, in that case we'll get the vibhasha. So then we get the forms like mithya kritya, mithya krutva, gati pakshe, samasaha, lyapadeshaha, then rastasipiti kritituk. So you get mithya, having falsified, mithya kritva, something which was not falsely made false, having falsified. Shraddha kritya, something which was not trustworthy, he made trustworthy or trusty. Shraddha kritya, something which was not, which just didn't have trust, he put trust in that. So Shraddha kritya, Shraddha kritva. Namaskritya we just saw is that is having saluted. Namaskritya, namaskritva, namaskritva. So this is in Gita, of course we saw that. So this is the ganaha. It has namas and avis, pradus, avis is in there. Then we saw these two forms, avishkritya, avishkritva, that we had to use this idudupadasya chapatyasya 8341. So now next thing, actually the top of the book itself, he has taken this example of satkritya, asatkritya. Satkru, asatkru is to honor, to dishonor. So that is one sutram which says that adaranadara yoho sadasati. So it's from sat and asat. Of course, sat derived from the dhatu as shatrupante patyanta pradivadikam. So sat means being, existing. But when sat and asat, asat, of course, we are tatpurush samasaha. But when they are in the meaning of adaraha and anadaraha, adara anadara yoho, only in that case they get the gati sanya. They get the gati sanya only when sat is used in the adararthe and asat is used anadararthe. So yatha, so adara anadara yoho yatha kramam, respectively, yatha kramam sadasat shabdau gati sanyau bhavataha. Satkritya, asatkritya means having like satkaraha, right? To respect, honor. So satkritya means having respected, having honored. Satkritya means having this comes in Gita, by the way. It comes in Gita. Here it is in chapter I think chapter 17 it comes. Chapter 17. Oh, this is not Gita, I'm sorry. It comes in Gita. Asatkritam avajñātam tāmasam udhāratam. Avajñātam tat tamas. I think when someone gives in charity with disrespect, I think that comes in Gita. Asatkritam avajñātam tat tamasam udhāratam. Let me see. Diyate nupakarane. Here it is. Adesha kale yaddanam. Something which is given the wrong time. Apatrebhyascha diyate. It's given to someone who doesn't deserve to get it, not to the right person. Asatkritam, with disrespect. Avajñātam. Avajña, same thing. With disrespect, disrespect and kind of with humiliation, something like that. Avajñātam, with censor. Tat tamasam udartam. So asatkru is in Gita. Asatkritam avajñātam. Asatkru means to dishonor, to put down. So when you give charity with disrespect, with dishonor, that is called tamasam dhanam. Tat tamasam udartam. So the sutram is adaranadarayoho sadasati. Adaranadarayoho. Actually, this section is not very difficult. There's just a bunch of meanings. These terms get the gatisanya, they also get the nipatas to become obvious, and then they form the gatisamasa. So adaranadarayoho. Yathakramam means respectively. Kramanusarena. Sadasat shabdau. Gatisanya bhavataha. Gatisanya. Satkritya, asatkritya. So here I did the whole derivation here. Dipkrin karne. So this is a very famous dhatu. So prasiddhayam dhatu. Then you first get the pratyaktva by, first of all, anubandha lopaha by adar ni to dabaha. 135. You get the it letters removed out by adar ni to dabaha. Adar ni to dabaha. The do samudaya gets the it sanya tasya lopaha halantyam anubandha lope kru. Then you get the pratyaktva, which is samana krityayoho purva kale. When somebody is doing two actions, then the prior action will get the pratyaktva, this 2, 3, 4, 21. And then what happens is that this, because sat has the gatisanya here, you can, because it is the adar arthe sat, not in the sense of just being, but in the sense of respecting. So get the gatisanya, and then ugati paradeha samasa vidhanam. So you get the tatpurusha samasaha, satkru tva. Now what happens is that once you get samasaha, you get samasanyang purve ktvolyap. So we had the iyap adeshaha. And anubandha lopaha lashyak patadjite halantyam tasya lopaha. So you get sat kru iya. Now we have the rasarukaraha followed by this pratyaya ya, which is a pit pratyaya, and by sthanivat bhavaha it has the krit sanya, to the thing, because ktva had the krit sanya. So we get the tuk agamaha by rasvasya pitikriti tuk, adyantau takitau, and so after that anubandha lope satkritya. So these same steps we have to follow for these prior ones also, like avishkritya. Of course here we have the special rule in the end, which is the idutupadasya chapratyasya. Same thing, namaskritya. All of these things which we did before, mithyakritya, all the steps are the same. I put them here in detail down here below. So satkritya. Now that is, so asatkritya and satkritya, they come like that. It means having respected, having disrespected. So asatkritam comes in, which is, which means disrespected. Asatkritam is disrespected. So bhushane, now next thing, so this comes in the book, the very first two things given in the book, which is satkru, asatkru, to honor or dishonor. Now alankru is the next thing, alam. So that is the Sutram 1464, Anantaram Sutram, Bhushane Alam. Bhushane Alam. So Alam means in the sense of decorating, ornamenting. In that sense only, Alam gets the Gatisanya, Alankritya, having decorated. Alankaraha, of course we all know, decoration, decorating, Alankaraha. This doesn't have to be a Tvapratyaya. It can be any alankaroti, means that he decorates. So now the avyam alam can be used in the following four meanings actually. Pratishedaha, like rodanena alam, don't cry, stop crying. Rodanena alam, enough with crying. Vilapena alam, vilapaha, stop lamenting. So alam. So alam means don't do it. Enough of this, enough with this. So alam rodanena, stop crying. So then samarthyam means to be capable. Alam harihi daityebhyaha. In fact, with this alam, if you remember correctly, is that we have the Chaturthi vibhakti is going to come there. Here alam. See, namaswasti swaha swatha alam. Vashad yoga cha. This is not today's topic, but it's a samarthya. Alam harihi daityebhyaha. Means he is capable of taking care of the Rakshasas. Harihi can take care of them. He is a match for them. He is fit for them. He is capable of. So 2, 3, 16 in that Chaturthi will be used. You can see this very quickly. Again, this is not the meaning we want over here. We want the meaning of, Bhushane. This is not the meaning of Samarthya, but the meaning of Samarthya. So, Prabhu, Alam, Alamiti Paryaptyartha Grahanam. Prabhu, Mallaha Mallaya. So some wrestler is a match for some other wrestler. Shaktaha Mallo Mallaya. So and so on. Alam Mallo Mallaya. So some wrestler can take another wrestler. So, okay. Now, so that's not the meaning that we want here. It's not Pratishedha, not Samarthyam, Paryaptihi. Enough means, Alam Kritam is made sufficient. Paryaptihi, made sufficient. Or enough. So, this is the difference of enough in English, right? Enough means made kind of sufficiency, sufficient. And the last meaning is Bhushanam. So he says, Annam alang karoti means he makes the food enough. But alang karoti can mean bhushanarthe. In that sense only, it will get, the gati sanya. So bhushane alam. Only sense of decoration, ornamentation, only will get the gati sanya. So when we have the bhushane tikrim, alang kritva odanam gataha. So alang kritva odanam gataha. So he made the food, he made enough food. Having made food enough, he went. So now here, he didn't decorate the food or ornament the food. Yes, he made it enough, sufficient, and he went. So now you can see in the pratyaktva, did not in the lyappadesha. This is not a compound. Because alam, this is paryapta, natu bhushane. Ataha gati sanya na prapyate. No gati sanya. You cannot do the lyappadesha. This is not a gati samasa. So alam krutva odanam gataha means paryaptam ityartha. Having made it enough, he went. Now, so that's the meaning. So when we say alankritya means having decorated. Alankrutva can be in other meanings, which means having been sufficient. Now one more thing Tattva says is that anukaranam ityadi trisutri sabhavat krim vishaya. The sutra which we saw before, which is this adaranadarayoho sadasati, along with this one also, which is bhushaneyalam. These three rules, out of which two we just saw, sabhavat, because the nature of the word is such that they're only krim vishaya. So they can only be with dhatu kru. So satkritya, asatkritya, alankritya. So they will not be in connection with other dhatus, because that's the nature of the words as such. Nature of the word is such. So they will be only with dhatu kru only it will be. So that's what the Tattva says, is that anukaranam is from 1462, which we have not seen, but we have seen 1463, which is adara anadarayoho sadasati, and we also saw bhushane alam. Ityadi trisutri sabhavat krim vishaya eva, only with dhatu kru. So satkritya, asatkritya, alankritya is three. So that's of course here in the book we saw that. This is satkru, asatkru, alankru, we saw that. Now the next thing here is the purovyayam, puraskritya, puraskara. Puras means in placing and having placed in front. This also can be mean puraskara means having like having honored, can mean to place in front means to can mean having to honor also, or literally place in front also can be. So puro avyayam. The puro avyayam, only when puras is an avyayam, it gets the gati sanya. Now there is also a pratipadikam called pur. So there that will not get the gati sanya. It has to be an avyayam. Avyayam, because we say puraha, that can also be the pratama bahushanam, of the Dvitiya Vishnam of Pur Pradipadikam. Puraha will not get the Gati Sanya. It has to be Avyayam. So Puraskritya will derive that. Same thing, the dhatu, same dhatu before Dipkrim Karane, Anubandha Lope, we get krutva, puraskritva. We got this is the wrong number here, should be 1467, which is purovyayam gatisanya, then kugati paradeyaha samasa vidhanam, then lyapadeshaha samasanyam purve kto lyap. If you have a samastam padam, in the ending twa will become the twantam will take the lyapadeshaha. But only thing, it should not be a nyangtat purusha. So you get it from akritva. I think comes in Gita. I think give me 1 second. I think it comes in the Gita. No, it may not come. Sorry, it may not. Anyway, akritva will not become akritya. So only the nyangtat purusha. Any other samasaha, the twa will become yap. Samasanyam purve to yap. So now get puras anubandha lope lashaktatadite halantyam, and then we get the tuk agama yatha puram raswasya piti kriti tuk sthani vadbhavat kritsanya sakshat pit. So raswasya piti kriti tuk raswarukarasya tuk agamaha adyantau takitau anubandha lope puraskritya. Now puras got the padasanya because avyarap supa has supluk has taken place. So the ausargikaha supratteha has taken the, so I should put over here 2482 avyarap supaha, and then pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam supting antam padam. So because any avyam, when you bring in the default pratyaya su as a general case, then 2482 avyarap supaha. So following an avyam that ap and sup takes look, pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam supting antam padam sasajusho ruhu padant sakare saru adesha anubandha lope repa purarkritya. Now we get the karavasanayor visarjaniya. So purarkritya. Now what happens? Now the sutta which you saw before, namaskritya, which you're talking about in namakritva business, we had a problem with there. So this is namaspurasor gatyoho gatisanyayor etayor visargasya saha visargasya sakaradesha kupuha parayoho. So when namas and puras have the gatisanya, then they get the sakaradesha kupuho. And I also said to you before, has to be kari, because we only got the visarga adesha based on the karavasanayo visarjaniya. So here we get namas puraskritya, means having placed in front. It also means having honored, having placed in front. Puraskritya, having placed in front. So one more time, this puraskrit, the gatisanya purovyayam, and because of that, when we form the compound, we got the lyapadesha, we got the samasaha. We could form the compound lyapadesha, we got the tukagamaha, the susipiti kriti tuk. And then in the end, when we did the rutta visarga, tat paschat sakaradesha, because namaspurasor gatyoho. This is gatisanyayor etayor visargasya saha kupuha parayoho. So get puraskritya. Did not become the jivva mulya visargaha, but became sakara, puraskritya. So that's puraskru, that's coming in the lesson over here. Now astangam, that's the 1468 astancha. Astam iti mantam avyayam gatisanyam syat astangatya. So astangam means to set. So at 1468 sutram, which is the astancha. So it's a mantam avyayam astam. There's also dhatu asukshepane. So astam can be like sanyastam, nyastam. It means have something which has been thrown down. That's not, well, this meaning is related meaning. Meaning is related because see, astam means to set, to go down. So yes, this probably may derive from the same dhatu, but right now it's given as a mantam avyayam. It is not the nishtha pratyaha with dhatu asukshepane as such. It is directly given as a mantam avyayam. So the meaning is definitely overlapping with that asukshepane. It says that astam gatya savita punarudeti. Having set, the sun rises again. Astam gatya ravihi savita punar udeti. So having set, the sun rises again. You see the examples of beautifully they are given. Why are they giving such examples here? Because this is samana kritikyoho purva kale. So you really cannot give an example similar like astangatya. Even though we are giving like example like puraskritya and alankritya, there has to be a dvitiya kriya should be there. But the pratyak tva only came on the condition of these samana kritikyoho purva kale. There has to be uttaravartini kriya. So we should complete the example. Puraskritya gataha, alankritya gataha. Something we have to say. It has to be another kriya with that. So we are saying for short, pradurbhuya, something uktavan. Having manifest, he said something. So there has to be uttaravartini kriya. So in all these examples, we are stopping at this pradurbhuya and namaskritya. Like in Gita, namaskritva bhuya evaha krishnam. So having shown his respect, he then said to Krishna. So there has to be. So this examples given are. So example we just saw here in the Siddhanta Kaumudi. The example given was that bhushaneti kim alankritva udanam gataha. So gataha is the uttaravartini kriya. Same thing in the Kashika vritti. Astam gatya savita punarudeti. It's given a uttaravartini kriya, that because this example requires a second action. Because the pratyak tva only came samana kritikyo purva kale. So we should not give example just like puraskritya. Puraskritya gataha, something we have to say. Puraskritya uktavan, something we have to put something over there. So puraskritya tishtati, something like that. So okay, astancha. Astam iti mantam avyayam gatisanyam sya. So this is the mantam avyayam. So you can say nyastam dhanam. That is not the avyayam. That is just the nishtha pratyaya vidadha asukshepane. So money which is deposited money. That is not the mantam avyayam. So but this one mantam avyayam is astam iti mantam avyayam gatisanyam syat. Astam gatya. Let's look at this form now. Astangatya. So dhatu gamrur gatau. Of course, upadesha jananasika it tasya lopaha. So same thing as before. Samana kartikayoho purva kale. This is the wrong number. I'm sorry. This should be only. This is the copy paste Rakshasaha. This is the Rakshasa copy paste. Asmakam badate punah. It troubles us again. Because that was from the dhatu kru. This gamru only the upadesha nasika it and tasya lopaha. Samana kritikyoho purva kale. Tva pratyaha astam is mantam avyayam. It got the gati sanya by astancha. So when you form this, again it's wrong number, I'm sorry. 68. If you see any errors on the board, you let me know. If some of this copy paste Rakshasa is coming to cause errors. So kugati pradaya, then samasanyang purvektvo lyap astangam lyap. Now what happens is that anubandha lopaha lashakutadite halantyam tasya lopaha. Now we get this sutram which says valyapi. Remember our friends 6437, which is a prasiddham sutram, bahuvaram prayuktam asmabhihi. You used many times, which is this anudattapadesha vanati tanotyadinam anunasika lopo jalikiniti. My favorite example is akshata samarpayami. Dhatu kshan become kshata. Akshata, unbroken rice. Like gatihi, matihi, tatihi, all these words, gatva. So these are all is anudattupadesha. Should be anunasika lopaha. So yama nama gama rama, these are four in the makaranteshu. Nanteshu hanamanya, like matva. Iti matva bhajante mam comes in Gita. This sutram is used in Gita many times. So but then the sutram says valyapi. The same dhatus, yama nama gama rama manahanya, dhatu vanati, tanotyadi ganaha, dhatus ending with a nasal, they take lopa jalikiniti. No, lyap pratyaya is not a jaladi pratyaya. So idam sutram na prapyate. Lopa na prapyate na sutrena. So anena sutrena lopa na prapyate. So we get lopa na prapyate. So you cannot get lopa, but valyapi. So this means that it will take two forms now. So lopapakshaha, lopabhavapakshaha. But that vibhasha is a vyavasthita vibhasha. Vyavasthita vibhasha. All these technical terms, what is vyavasthita vibhasha, what is lopaha, what is luk, what is uryadi, what is gati sanya, all these technical terms, always refer to dictionary of Sanskrit grammar. This great Professor Abhyankar is very dear to my heart because he died a very tragic death when I was a young boy. But anyway, that's a different thing. But this one, what is Vyavasthita Vibhasha? Vyavasthita Vibhasha is that there is some order in the Vibhasha. Vibhasha is not completely optional everywhere. Vyavasthita Vibhasha. So Vyavasthita Vibhasha means an option which does not apply universally in all the instances of a rule, but prescribes an operation optionally, but applies necessarily in some cases and does not apply at all in other cases. The total result is an optionality. So within the optionality there is some order. There is something. So what is the order over here in Valyapi? If we didn't have this Vyavasthita Vibhasha, we just would have two forms. Astam Gamya, Astam Gatya. Dve Rupe Bhavataha. But what is the Vyavastha now? Is there something with the Vyavastha? Look what the Vyavastha says. Is that this one says Valyapi. In fact, it comes in Gita chapter 1, okay? Nyattadhata rashtra naha kapi tisya janardana. Papame vashe dasman hatveta natatayanaha tasman narha vayam hantum. Chapter 1 towards the end. Antyabhage. Nyattadhata rashtra naha kapi tisya janardana. Papameva Shedasman Hatveta Natatahinaha Tasman Narha Vayam Hantum Dhatarashtra Saman Devas Yadyapyetena Pashyanti. Here it is. Nyatyadhatarashtra, which is coming. This is that Valyapi Sutra for you. So when you chant Gita chapter 1 next time, Nihatyadhatarashtra. This Dhatu Han. Dhatu Padesha Dhatu. Sananta Dhatu. Nakaranta Dhatu. This has taken the nakarascha anunasika lopaha has taken place. Of course, once you get lopaha, you can lose the rasvasya piti tuk. That is fine. But this is the sutram Valyapi. Because you could not have used the Nudatu Padesha Vanasitanotyadinam Anunasika lopo jalikiniti. That's jalikiniti. You bring the lyappa desha. It has sthanivad bhava with ktva. Is kit pratyaya, but sthanivadadeshu anal vidhau. The lyap will not be a jaladi pratyaya. It will be a kit pratyaya. But sthanivad bhava, it will not be jaladi. You cannot invoke the jaladitvam of the tva pratyaya and make lyap also jaladi because anal vidhau. So this will be lyap is a kit pratyaya. So that part is fine, but it's not jaladi. You could not use 6437 to do the Anunasika Lopaha. So Valyapi. Now, Valyapi, can we have a second form here also? Will we have Nihanya, the second form? Like we say, Agamya Agatyati Dve Rupestaha. We get two forms. Tadvat Atrapi Bhave. Can we have two forms here? So can we have two forms here also? We have two forms, Nihanya and Nihatya. So can we have, atrapi bhavetam, I should say. You have two forms. Atrapi dve rupe bhavetam. No, that doesn't happen. Because of the vyavastha. So in fact, to understand the vyavastha, this is a good example from Gita. Because if you just say Valyapi, you can get the two forms, Agamya, Agatya. No problem there. But to really understand the vyavastha, this Gita example is good. Niyatyadhata rashtrana. So not only do you give a sutram Valyapi, you also understand the Vyavasthita Vibhasha within the Valyapi. Okay, so what's the Vyavastha? Let's go to that.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you are going to explain that. Vyavastha, Panini himself uses in Sutram, Purvaparavara Dakshinottaravarādrani, Vyavasthāyam Asagnyāyam.
Yeah, but that Vyavastha is different, The Vyavastha means that, like in direction, I think, it means there. You're talking about that one with the Swarajini Patam there, from there, right? You're talking about, right?
Yeah, there the Vyavastha is defined in Kashika as स्वाभिधेय अपेक्ष avadhi niyamo vyavastha.
Avadhi niyamaha, yeah, but that's not the meaning. Vyavastha is some kind of an order, some kind of order. Yeah, that word vyavastha has various meanings. This is a technical vyavastha which is being used over here, the vyavasthita vibhasha. So here means that there is some vyavastha, there's some more rule within the order. It's not sarvatra vibhasha. It's not vibhasha like everywhere. Yeah, I know it's used in there also, but that's slightly different meaning than here. Similar concept but different application. So vyavasthita vibhasha cha iyam tena makarantana vikalpo bhavati anyatra nityam eva lopaha. So if you have a makaranta like gam dhatu, you will get agamya agatya, astam gatya, astam gamya. You can have two forms. But anyatra nityam eva lopaha. So he says, so you get agamya agatya, but then ahatya ekam eva rupam bhavati. So there's no optionality. Yeah, if it's makaranta only, you will get dve rupestaha. Anyatra ekam eva rupam bhavati. Only one form. So you'll have only one form, which is, anyway, this is not today's topic of this lesson really from Antoine, but I just got on this topic because we had the form astangamya astamgatya. So here we used the form, we kept it as gam, and we got gatya also because of this vyakhyanam, vyavasthita vibhasha cheyam, tena makarantana vikalpo bhavati. This is the one. Anyatra nityam. So this is Gita nihatta dhata rashtranaha. So you will not get the nitya nakar lopaha without the vyavastha. Vyavastham bina nitya lopaha na labhyate. You cannot get nitya lopaha. So we have that. So one more time, 6.4.38 is the next anantaram sutram after 6.4.37. Anadatupadesha vanasitanotyadinam anunasika lopo jalikiniti valyapi vyavasthita vibhasha makaranta nam vikalpena anyatra nityam. So you get two forms over here, astangamya, when we don't do the anunasika lopa, astangamya. When we do the lopaha, then of course we'll be using the rasvasya pitikriti tuk. We get astangatya, astangamya as two forms. Here also it is this makara and padanta makaraha. So we will have actually two more forms when you do the vapadantasya. So vapadantasya. When you do the parasavarnaha by 8459 anuswarasya parasavarnaha, but then vapadantasya. So technically you get even one more form over here, two more forms, astangamya, astangatya, anuswarasya parasavarnaha vapadantasya, because astam definitely has a padasanya, it's an avyam. So we got the avyarapsupaha pratyaya vipatti lakshanam suptinganta padam. So you can get two more forms with the parasavarna adesha. Astangamya, astangatya, astangamya, astangatya, astangamya, astangatya, astangamya, astangatya, with the kavarga panchama adesha. Okay, so that was the astam, which is astamcha mantam abhyam. Okay, now the next one in the book that he has given is that we are basically we are combing this section from 1461 to 1480 and taking the main ones in here. So we saw so far Uryadichvida Chascha, we saw Adaranadarayoho Sadasati, Bhushane Alam. Then we saw Purovyayam, we saw Astancha, and then now we're going to see Tiruvantardhav. Yes, there's a problem here also. In the book, I think we need to make a correction here. See, it's put Tirastu to blame. See, that is a problem. It's a problem because in this Panini only clearly says Tiruvantardhav. So we may have to make some adjustment there. So the Sutram says Tiruvantardhav. Tiruvantardhav means only Antardhi means to place inside, means to basically to disappear. To disappear. So only when Tiras means to disappear only gets the Gati Sanya, Tiruvantardhav. So it will not get the Gati Sanya when it is to Tiraskararthe, which is Avamanarthe, when it's to disrespect or to put down somebody. So let's hold on to that from the book for time being. We may have to do some adjustment. Let's see what the Sutram says. Tiruvantardhav, Tiro Bhuya. means having disappeared. The same before tiras is an avyayam, so bhutva became bhuya by samasanyam purvak, so lep. In the meanwhile, tiras got the padasanya because of the supluk, avyarap supaha, pratyay lopi pratyay lakshanam, suptingandam padam sasajusho ruho. Then we get hashicha, ukaradeshaha, adgunaha, tiro bhuya. So this is just visarga sandhi, like namo narayanaya, tiro bhuya, tiro bhuya. Tiro bhuya is visarga sandhi, we get when tiras plus bhuya becomes tiro bhuya. Antardhau iti kim, tiro bhutva sthitaha, pashvato bhutva sthita ityartaha. Tiro bhutva sthitaha. So again, look at the example. He gives a second action over here. So he was standing there, having moved to the side, having gone on one side. So becoming on the side, he stood there. He's standing. So becoming on the side. This is not, he didn't disappear. So parshvato bhutva sthitaha. So parshve sthitaha. So he is only standing on the side. So this tiras, it means like horizontal, sideways, on the side. That is not antardhau. Antardhau arthe eva gati sanya, anyatra na. So this will not have gati sanya because tiro bhutva did not become tiro bhuya, didn't get gati sanya, don't have a gati samasaha, cannot get lyapa adesha, it's only samase purve. So therefore tiro bhutva sitaha, pashvatos bhutva sitaha ityarthe, atra gati sanya nasti. Okay, so we got that one. Now here is the complete detail of the examples. Vistaraha atra likitaha. So bhutva by saman pratyakyoho purvakale. So tiras bhu plus tva by, again this is the mistake here, 1471. Tiro antardhau. We get the samasaha by kugati pradayaha, samasanyam purve cholyap. Purvat yatha purvam. Anubandha lopaha lashakvatadite halantyam tasya lopaha tayoho lopaha pratyay lopi pratyay lakshanam suptingantam padam sasajusho ruhu hashicha ukaradeshaha adgunaha tiro bhuya means having disappeared. This was a parshvato bhutva that become tiro bhutva, not tiro bhuya. So that will be the thing. Now comes the problem. Now the thing is that this sutram 147, it's not a problem as yet. 147 says vibhasha krimi. So sakrudhatu yoge vibhasha gati sanya bhavati. Again antardhau. So antardhau, so this is in the same meaning of antardhau, but if it is used in the sense of with the connection with dhatu diprim karane, then it will become vibhasha only. You'll get the gati sanya only, it can be gati sanya vibhasha. We'll have two forms, tirah kritya, tiras kritya. But this means having made, kind of concealed, having concealed. So 1472 vibhasha shakrini antardhoti vartate. So in the same meaning of concealing or hiding, making it disappear. So prapta vibhasha iyam. So means prapta vibhasha means you already had the gati sanya vitiro antardhau, but praptasya vibhasha means that is now being made optional kriyi. So tiras shabdaha karoto parataha vibhasha gati sanya bhavati tiras kritya. So you'll get two form, tiras kritam. You'll get two form. In fact, tiras kritya. Vibhasha kriyi. So when we gati pakshe, you'll get two forms, by the way. In gati pakshe itself, we'll get two forms. How will we get two forms? Because of the sutram 8342. Okay, let's go to the steps. So gati, let's take the gati pakshe first. Gatitva pakshe. When gati sanya pakshe. So there is a vibhasha gati sanya kriyi. It's only for tiras antardhau arthe, in the sense of antardhau. You get the vibhasha gati sanya. So gatitva pakshe will get dve rupestaha. Gatitva pakshe eva dve rupestaha. So tiras kritya. How do we get two forms? Now we should have only one form. Recall the para rule which we just saw only for namas and puras. Okay, the sutra which we saw before, namas puras or gatyoho. That is finished now. तत्र सम्बन्ध तस्य सम्बन्धः अत्र नास्ति. तिरस् शब्दः वर्तते, न तु नमस् अथवा पुरस्. We don't have namas or puras now, so that is finished. That we, namaskuru and all that, puraskaraha, puraskritya, those are finished. So now when we have the tiras shabdaha, we should have had only one form. The tiras shabda should have only one form, tirakritya, like kupuha kafpauch. Of course, we can get jivha mulya adesha. Otherwise, there should be no sakara adesha. But we are getting a second form here. Why is that? Let's go through the steps again. Anubandha lopaha for dhatu kru. So adar ni to davaha, halantyam tayor lopaha, samana kritikyo purvakale, again wrong number here, should be vibhasha kriyi, kugati pradaya, samasa vidhanam, samasanyang purve ktolyap, nubandha lopaha, yashaputazdi halantyam, rasvasya piti kriti tuk, yatha purvam, because rasva rukaraha followed by lyap, which is sakshat pit, sthanivad bhavat, kritsanya, krutpratyaya, rasvasya piti kriti tuk, adyanto takitau, anubandha lopaha, upadesha nasikat harantyam. Then padasanya for tiras by avyadap supaha pratyalopi pratyalakshanam suptingantam padam. I hope by repeating sutra many times in the class, by repeating them many times, I hope you are now getting them in your brain registry, in the lower region of your brain. You're having these now. Avyadapsupaha, suptingantam padam, patirupatya lakshanam. All these are going to be now sisajusho ruho, upadeshana nasika et, karavasana visajaniyaha. You should recite in your sleep also now by now. Even in your swapne api. Pradar bhavanti sutrani. In your dream also you can get these sutras now. Karavasana visajaniya. So we got up to here, tiraha kritya. But now we get this sutram 8342, tirasonyatarasya. Let's go to section of Ashtadhyayi. So we're looking at this section of Ashtadhyayi today, which we can start from visajaniyasya saha, sharpare visajaniya, vashari, kupuha kapfaucha. These we already studied in the daily examples. Sopadadav, inashaha. Then we got namaspuras sorgatyoho, this sakara desha. So we get we already namaskuru we saw, puraskritya we saw that. Idudupadasya cha pratyasya. This what's happening here is that sopadadav said is sakara, but then inashaha. If there is a in prior to, then take the murdanya shaka adesha. So here idudupadasya cha pratyasya, since the id or ud is prior to it, you take the murdanya shakara desha. In the case of namas and puras, it is akara purvaha sakaraha. So visargaha. Tasmat karana sakara desha. So basically 8338 anuvritti of the saha is coming down, but inashaha, that sakara which is coming down will become murdanya shakara, which follows an in letter. In namas and puras it was following an akara. There is no murdanya shakara desha. But here, idudupadasya cha pratyasya, we have the murdanya shakara desha because it is id ud upadasya, e or u. Now tirasonyatarasya means that optionally for tiras, we'll take the sakara, this option. The controversy here is like this, is that gatyoho iti atra anuvartate vanava. This anuvritti of gatav, does that come in this sutram or not? That is the controversy. Let's look at this. So anyway, sutram tirasonyatarasya, what Panini says, tiras will take the, optionally take the sakara desha. This all is kupuha by the way. Anuvritti, this one is coming down from down here. The only question is that, does this take the anuvritti of gati from here, from 8340? So let's look at here. Right now what we have is that tirasonyatarasya, tirasaha, visarjaniyasya, anyatarasya, vikalpena, sakaradesha bhavati kupuha parataha. Again, same as before, kupuha has to be kari also, because the visarga adesha only came by karavasana visarjaniya. So basically ka, ka, pa, pa. So we got two forms. So sakara adesha pakshe tiraskritya atva tirak. So both of these places has gati sanya in both these places. See, what namas and puras was happening was that there was nityam. The moment they got the gati sanya, only one form you're getting puraskritya. That's why in the Gita we had the problem, which we had in the Gita. In the Gita we had the problem with that namas because of the fact that there was no vibhasha there. So there, there is this, once we get the, actually here this has no gati sanya. Namas has no gati sanya, we get the samasa. But then clearly Sutram itself says, not a question of vibhasha, I'm sorry. Sutram itself says gatyoho. So there we cannot escape that, because in namaskritva clearly we have a problem here. Because the Sutram itself, Panini says namaspurasoho gatyoho. So here unfortunately there's really no way out of this one. But now down here with tiras is the question anuvritti coming down. So now we may be able to escape some problems here. So with gati sanya pakshe we got two forms, tirah kritya, tiras kritya, because of tiraso anyatarasya. Okay. Now gatitva bhava pakshe, when we don't have gati sanya, tirah kritva, there is no gati sanya, so there is no question of anything about sakara desha. So gatitva bhava pakshe tiraso anyatarasyam iti saptamopi na bhavati tadvidhau gati grahanam anuvrittehe tattva bodhani. So gatitva bhava pakshe, you don't have gati sanya for tiras, sattvamopi na bhavati, sattvam api na bhavati, sakara adeshopi na bhavati, no sakara. So basically api means what? Lyap na bhavati, sakara adeshopi na bhavati. Lyap adesha na bhavati, sakara adeshopi na bhavati. So no lyap adesha because not a samasa anymore. Gati sanya bhava pakshe, gatitva bhava pakshe, samasa vidhanam nasti, lyap adesha nasti, sattvapi nasti, no sattamapi na bhavati. Tad because sattva vidhau, tad vidhau, gati grahana anuvritte, hey. But then there's a problem here, because if you know the word tiraskaraha, prasiddha shabdayam. Tiraskara is used in the language a lot, Tiraskaraha. Now the only way to get that sakara desha is by tirasonyatarasya. Tatra yadi gatau iti anuvarteta, tarhi sakara desha durlabha. Sakara desha durlabha. You cannot get sakara desha, because if you require gati sanya to get the sakara desha in this one, tirasonyatarasya, again let's go to Ashtadhyayi. We're looking at this sutram here, tirasonyatarasya. Now namaspurasor gatyo was here. Anuvritti of gati coming down. But now how would we explain the word tiraskaraha? Because remember, don't forget that the gati sanya only came antardhau. The gati sanya which we are using is only came tiruantardhau, vibhasha kriyi. So so we can only get the gati sanya antar. Okay, vibhasha kriyi is fine, but we need to get the gati sanya to get the sakara desha, and that gati sanya only comes antardhau. So now when we don't have gati sanya, then how can we get the word tiraskara? Tiraskara doesn't mean concealing, right? It means putting down. Apamanaha, avamanaha. So then we have to say that, so that's why in the dhatu vritti, Madhava Sarnacharya says, so parabhavaha means to humiliate or to defeat, to put down, tiraskara. Tiraskara iti prayoga darshanat. This is a very famous word. Sattva vidhau, in that sutram tirasonyatarasya, sattva vidhau. Gati grahananuvrittim kechin no icchanti ityaha. Some people say that we better not take gati anuvritti in tirasonyatarasya. Otherwise we cannot explain the word tiraskara. Tiraskara iti shabdasya tiraskara syat. The word tiraskara would itself take tiraskara. So what we have to do is that, because in tiras this is not antardhau. Antardhau arte nasti che gati sanya na labhyate. We cannot gati sanya. Gati sanya nasti che sakara adesha durlabha. Tasmat gato iti nanu vartate iti kechid vadanti. Some people say that this anuvritti of gatau does not come into tirasonyatarasya, because this word tiraskara is not antardhau. There's clearly no gati sanya here, but we have to yathakatanchit, we have to get sakara desha. So then the only way out is to assume that in tirasonyatarasya the gati is not coming. Then even here without gati, we can start getting two forms now. So tirah krutva. So now now let's come back to our book now. Coming back to the book, he has put tiraskru to blame. Now can we blame the book? Cannot blame the book for this, because tiraskara is a famous word. Even though I put an X over here, actually when we did this lesson the last time around, a few years ago, at that time we put this as an error. It's not really an error, because if we don't take the anuvritti of gati down into that 8.3, what is 8.3, what is 42, was it? 8.3, yeah, 8.3.42, then we can explain tiraskru. So what you can just put like a question mark here, maybe that 8.3.42, you don't take anuvritti of gati, tiraskru to blame, then you are fine, you can get. But if you do that, then even here, so gati sanya bhava pakshi also, you can start getting sakara desha now. So without gati sanya also you can get the sakara desha. So tiraskrutva you can get that now. Tiraskrutva you can start getting, because we don't, tirasanya tirasyam doesn't require gati. Then in that case, there's no gati sanya, that is fine. You will not get the lyap adesha. Lyap adesha requires samasa vidhanam. So that requires gati sanya for sure, because lyap cannot come under this samasa. Samasa cannot come unless gati is there. So that is fine. Lyap adesha nasti. Parantu vikalpena sakasha labhyate. Vikalpena sakadesha adesha labhyate. Sakadesha labhyate. So if you take the madhava matena, according if you take madhava, then here also maybe you can start getting, in that meaning also, but definitely parabhave tiraskara iti prasiddhatvat. We have to accept that. So one more time is that sutram here was tiruvantardhav, in the sense of concealing, disappearing, hiding. It gets the gati sanya. That gati sanya is nityam, but it takes so tiro bhuya, but it gets vibhasha kriya, you get two, it gets vibhasha gati sanya. Get tirah tiraskritya, because of that. So you have one vibhasha here. Other vibhasha is tirasvanya tirasyam there. So that is the one in 8.3. So gati pakshe api dve rupestaha. Tirah kritya tiraskritya. And technically speaking, gatitva bhava pakshe is only one form, tirah kritva. But we have to allow this form tiraskaraha as not taking the anuvritti of gati in tirasvanya tirasyam. So that's what's happening with this one, tiras. So here we are in the book now. We are up to this point. So you can keep this one, prasiddhatvat. Let's see. We got satkru, asatkru, alankru, praskru, astangam, tirobhu, askru, sakshatkru, mithyakru, namaskru, pradarbhu, abhishkru, pradarbhu. Okay. Now we are going to see this one. Urasikru and manasikru. And we're going to see these two also, haste kru and panav kru. So we have to now see urasi, manasi, haste, panav. So let's look at it. There is all in the same section. Same section is so anatyadhane anatyadhana urasi manasi. This is dvivachanam here, and then nityam haste pana upayamane. These two. Okay, so let's look at 1475 first. 147 anatyadhana urasi manasi. Says that urasi manasi vibhakti pratirupakau. Remember when we did in our daily examples, you've seen this Gana Sutram under 1457 Chadayo Sattve. Chadayo Sattve, so Nipata Sanya, because just go back to the Ashtadhyayi for a second. Pragrishwaran Nipataha, and then we saw Chadayo Sattve. This Chadayo Sattve has a Gana Sutram in that, and that Gana Sutram says Upasarga Vibhakti Swara Pratirupakascha, something which mimics, looks like Upasarga Vibhakti Swara will take the we can also be included in this Chadi Gana in Nipata Sanya. So Urasi Manasi, Urasi it looks like a saptami bhakti of uras. Uras means chest. Manas is saptami bhakti of that same. So this is saptami antam iti pratiyate. Saptami antau. So this is saptami antam, but this is a vibhakti pratirupaka nipataha. Amvyam. Of course, once you get nipata sanya, sura nipatam amvyam. So upasarga vibhakti upaswara pratirupakascha iti gana sutrena Urasi manasi iti vibhaktipati rupakau. These are two. Urasi and manasi is to be taken as they have the nipata sanya by the vibhaktipati rupakau. So now this also has vibhasha kriyi iti vartate. So these get the gati sanya vibhasha only with dhatu vibhasha kriyi. Anatyadhane. So in the meaning of atyadhana, not in the meaning of atyadhana, anatyadhane urasi manasi shabdau vibhasha kriyi gati sanya bhavataha. Urasi kritva. So gatitva pakshe urasi kritya samasa vidhanam ko gati pradayah samasanyam purvekyo lyap ktvo lyap rasvasya piti kritituk urasi kritya gatitva bhava pakshe urasi kritva lyap adeshana bhavati. Means what is the meaning over here? But it should be the meaning of anatyadhani. What is atyadhanam? It says atyadhanam upashleshanam tatra na bhavati. Upashleshanam is actually physically you touch. Upashleshanam is like to embrace. Upashleshanam is like kind of touching physically with your. Then in that case you will not. Urasi krutva panim shete. So means that having put his hand on his chest he sleeps. Somebody sleeps putting his hand on his chest. So urasi krutva panim shete. So he sleeps with his hand on his chest. This is not, so physically he's putting his hand on his chest, it's touching his chest. So that is the atyadhanam. So in that case, we will not get the gati sanya, vibhasha also. There's no gati sanya. Gatitva sambhava nasti. So upashleshane means to try to touch, to physically touch, put on top of something. So there you will not get the gati sanya. But here it says abhyupagamya ityartaha. Urasi kritya, here urasi kritya when you're doing, abhyup means having clearly understood. Having put in your chest means not physically put it on your chest, means like having clearly understood the situation, understood something. That means that, so that is abhyupagamya ityartaha. So means that having clearly, one of the meaning you can take is here, is having fully understood. So abhyupagamya, urasi kritya, means you put something in your chest, means you fully understand it. So urasi kritya. Secondly, manasi kritva nishchitya ityartha, having put in your mind. Manasi kritva means having resolved, having decided. So means having put in your mind means that having nishchitya ityartha. So in these two meanings, abhyupagamane and nishchaye, in these two meanings, these vibhaktipati rupakau, manasi and urasi and manasi, they get the gati sanya vibhasha kriyi. So in all of these cases, by the way, if you're reading something, if you see this lyapadesha coming, right, see lyapadesha, then you have to understand this samasa vidhanam has taken place here, samasa vritti, because lyapadesha only comes by samasanyam purvekto lyapa. That means that this could be a gati samasa. Then start searching for which rule among these, So like in Gita, namas, you can have like, actually namas krutva is actually incorrect form, should be namas kritya. Say namas kritya, then we have to start searching for, well, in fact, even namas kritva if you have in Gita namas kritva, it's most likely an arsha pravaga. But there, the tip off there is that sakara adesha. In Gita, in namaskuru, in namaskritva, which is arsha pravaga, the sakara adesha is the tip off, is the red flag there. So there we have to come to the sutra, because it's kapuha kafpaucha. So if you come there, I'm telling you how to find these forms when you're reading, how to pick out these forms of the gati samasaha. So in Gita, when you had namaskritya, namaskruta, which is namaskritya, namaskuru, because namaskurasoho gatyoho. So something written the sakara adesha has taken place in namaskuru, namaskritva. So then how is that happening? Then you come over here, because you take the usargaha, which is the kupuha kafpaucha, and then namaspuraso gatyoho. Gati sanya has to come. Then once you know gati sanya has to come, then you go and look into this section of this gatishcha section. And there you see the sakshat pravrutti in each other, this ganaha, and then you say namas is in that ganaha. So then you start that way. So basically you see something there, either lyap adeshaha or the sakara adeshaha maybe, which is going to tell you that, of course, lyap adesha is clear cut. You have to have samas vidhana. The sakara adesha also may require gati sanya. So that also is another way to catch these words. Like namaskuru when you have in Gita, then you can remove sutam saksha pravrutti in each. Right? So there you can look at a sutram and you can say that this namaskuru gatyoho just gets the sakara sanya. So I'm saying when you're reading, how do you pick out these words? That how do you know this gati sanya has come over here? Because see, urasi kritya, you can look at the lyap adesha and then find out how come this urasi was just a saptami ekvachanam if you say, then how will you get the lyap adesha? From where? Urasi just takes saptami ekvachanam, like manasi krit. Then how will you get the lyap adesha? That is the red flag. That is what you have to watch out for. So in fact, this entire thing about this gatitvam is largely in part to get the lyap adesha in the first place. Otherwise, prayojanam kutra asti. Where is the prayojanam of the gati sanya? I mean, there may be some other subtle things, but the mukhya prayojanam of the gatitvam is to get the lyap adesha. So that is where you have to. Otherwise, you could have got, I mean, in some cases sakara adesha also, but mainly lyap adesha is the one. So to get this lyap adesha and manasikritya and urusikritya, these things better have some samasa. And samasa means, how will you get samasa with saptami antam padam? So that's why they made them vibhaktipati rupakam avyayam. And then we got the gati sanya, then we got the lyap adesha. I'm saying going the reverse way is to recognize these words when you're reading, is to look for the lyap adesha or look some other indication like a sakara adesha, which is requiring some gati sanya, and then we come to that. Otherwise, just having gati sanya is not necessary. Not necessary otherwise. So, okay. So, urasi kritva is abhyupagamya ityartha, means to put in your chest, means to clearly understand something. That's in that kind of meaning it takes the. Otherwise, if you sleep with your hand on your chest, that doesn't become gati sanya. Urasi kritva shete, panim shete, then no, you don't get it. Manasikritya means nishchitya tirtaha, nishchaye, means to having resolved, having decided. Having put in your mind means having resolved to do that. Atyadhanam upashleshanam. Okay, so atyadhane na bhavati. Last one is nityam haste pana upayamane. So now nityam is coming, because vibhasha is coming down. Tad nivrityartham nityam griyate. So to stop the vibhasha, nityam panini says kriyi. So this kriyi, when dhatu kru, is haste and panav. Also same thing over here, So this also this is get the nipada sanya, haste and panav. They also get the nipada sanya, even though they look like saptami ekvachanam. So it says upayamanam vivahaha, means when you to take a bride's hand, means to marry, basically. It may not be in today's day and world, at least in the old days. Upayamanam is vivahaha. So haste pana upayamane. So it says svikara matram ityanye. Even at that time, I guess they said the svikara matram. You are not married, you only accepted. So svikara matram ityanye. So upayamanam vivahaha. Then svikara matram ityanye. You're not in marriage, but you just accepted. So haste kritya panav kritya means having taken by the hand, means having married. So upayamana ruparte eva etayor edan tattvam audan tattvam cha nipatyate. So only the sense of marrying, this they get the haste and panav, get the nipata sanya. So etayoho. So upayamanam. So upayamanam is to marry. So upayamana ruparte eva etayoho means eta shabdayoho. Edan tattvam means ending in haste, the ending in ekaran tattvam, and udattantam. I think there is audattantam. So ending in aukara, panav. audantatvam cha nipatyate. There is they get to say. So haste kritya iti. So pariniya ityartaha. So means having married. So haste kritya, having taken in your hand, means having married. But some people say even without marrying you can say haste kritya, but technically speaking it should be pariniya ityartaha. Upayamani itikrim haste kritva karshapanam gataha. So this is like a coin, coin. So having taken a coin in his hand, he left. So here you don't get the nipada sanya, no gati sanya. So haste krityati vaktum na shakyate, lyap padesha na labhyate. You cannot get lyap padesha. This is not in the sense of marrying. So only taking something in your hand, you left. Haste kritva karshapanam gataha. So this is the thing. Okay, let's see. Did we cover this thing now? So haste kru, pano kru. We saw that, but this is nityam, by the way. This is nityam. Haste kru, pano kru is nityam. And so kriyi, but nityam. And only upayamane to marry, which he has put here clearly. So, and then manasi kru, there's a typo here, but there should be urasi, not urasi, but urasi. Urasi, he says to realize. To realize means to kind of fully understand or comprehend something. And manasiga is to decide. You got all the meanings here: honor, dishonor, to adorn. So bhushane alam. So to place before, or to also to respect, to honor. Astam gam is to set. Tirobhu is to disappear. Tirasku is to be always sort to blame. There's a problem here. You can accept that one. Sakshat kru is to manifest, directly make evident. Mithya kru is to falsify. Namaskru salur, pradurbhu, avishkru, avirbhu. Urasi kru, realize. Manasi kru, to decide. Urari kru, uri kru, to swikru, angi kru, to accept. To shraddha kru, to believe, to trust. To haste kru, pano kru, to marry. Okay. Now, remaining part of this book, this one is says when nominal stem with the affix chui, or an adverbial especially, what it means is gati sanya basically. It's prefixed because te parag dhato, it's called gati. While the preposition prefix called upasarga. So pradeha, so upasarga kriya yoge. But by the way, this one thing should make a note here, that the pradis also get the gati sanya, by the way. Gatishcha. So pradis also get the gati sanya. But the upasarga sanya is only for the pradeha kriya yoge. So upasarga is true, but upasarga also has the gati sanya. The next page it says that whether an indeclinable, whether upasarga or gati, so upasargas also have gati sanya, is compounded. Because to compound you have to use gati pradeha. In fact, very first verse of Gita, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsavaha. Do we have it here? No, maybe second verse of it. Samaveta Yutsavaha, Mamaka Pandavashchiva, Kimakurvata Sanjaya. In fact, in the first verse also, Samaveta, Sam Avaita. There's also Gati Samasa there. Then Sanjyovacha, Drishtva Pandavanikam, Yudhan Duryodhanastada, Acharyam Upasangamya. Upasangam. In fact, there itself in Gita, you can look at the Sutram Valyapi. Interesting. See that one? Valyapi. Vyavasthita Vibhasha. So in Gita, in the very beginning of Gita, very second sloka of Gita, a lot of good things there. So firstly, we have this Upasangamya. You got the Lyappadesha, isn't it? Sangamya. Because now Lyappadesha is Samasa Vidhanam. Samasa Vidhanam means Ugati Pradeyaha. So what I'm saying is that this Upa and Sam, they have the Upasarga Sanya, but they also have the Gati Sanya, so they can form a Gati Samasa with Gam, with Gatva I should say. So Upa, Sang, Gatva, then we get the Lyappadesha, Sangamya. And then remember the Valyapi, Sutram Valyapi, which you just saw, Vyavasthita Vibhasha. So Mantanam Vibhashaya. Anyesham Itaresham Nityam. So this you can remember Sutram Valyapi right here. So you can remember this Kugati the Pradeha, Upasarga Kriya Yoge, Gatishcha, Kugati Pradeha, Samasanyam Purve Kso Lyap and Valyapi. and Vyavasthita Vibhasha. All these you can remember right here. Upasangamya. So Upa and Sam have the Upasarga Sanya and the Gati Sanya from a Gati Samasaha. So Lyapadeshaha, and then because of Valyapi, we can have this Sangamya, Sangatya. Upasangamya, Upasangatya. But Nihatya is only one form. In fact, in chapter 1 of Gita, you have this, both these you have. Upasangam you have Upasangamya. Below you have Nihatya. That's a Nanta. That will be Nityam. Nityam. Vyavasthita Vibhasha. Alright, okay. Okay, so it's compounded Kugati Paradeha. The indicator first past participle Twa. So this is Samasin Purya Twa Lyap is replaced by Lyap 7137. One exception is there by the Naintat Purushaha. So Samase Anyang Purve. So Alankritya Astang, we already saw this. So Tathaiva Udharatam. Tathaiva Udharatam. We already saw the examples accordingly. Alankritya Astangamya Avirbhuya etc. But Alabdhva. Alabdhva. So by the way, in Gita, interesting thing in Gita is Gita shlokas come to mind all the time. Look at this one in Gita, by the way, interesting one here. Chapter 6. Aprapya yoga samsiddhing kangating Krishna gacchati. Interesting form here. Arjuna says, Aprapya yoga samsiddhing kangating Krishna gacchati. Aprapya. Now, here we do have a Nyantat Purusha, isn't it? Still we got the Lyapadesha. Because clearly the Prapya first we got the Lyapadesha. So Samasanyang Purve Ktolyap is correct. But the Lyapadesha did not come because of Nyantat Purusha. It came because of the Gati Samasa first. So you got Dhatu Ap, so you got Aptva, you got Prapya, it became first. First you got Prapya. That's we got the Lyapadesha because of the Samasvadan Kugati Pradeyaha. Then Tatpaschat Nyantat Purusha. So this Nai will not stop the Lyapadesha here. Because this Lyapadesha already came in the form Prapya itself. Tataiva Praptaha. Tataiva Lyapadesha Praptaha. In Prapya itself we got the Lyapadesha. After that, if you form any samasa, that will not remove the Lyapadesha. So only in the form of Akritva, Alabdhva, those places you will not get the Lyapadesha. But if you already got the Lyapadesha by the Gati Samasa right here, after that you make a Nyanta Purusha on top of that, that will not negate this one. Because this came on the basis of this Gati Samasa. Okay. The interesting form in Gita. Aprapya yoga samsiddhim kangating Krishna gacchati. Okay, so this is basically what we saw. So Alankritya Astangamya Avirbhuya Alabdha. Now Gati Samasa is a Samasa combining a Gati and a non-finite verbal form. Why non-finite, by the way? Because Tingantam na samasyate. Tingantam na samasyate. The Tingantam cannot be compounded. So you should not say word like Aham Agamishyami and things like that. Those are not correct. So Uri Kritya, Uri Kritaha, it says, so having accepted. So this is really where you see the Samasa. This is the Lyapadesha. Some of the words can be used independently without forming a sama. So that's because of he's talking about the Sakshat Prabhuti in nature, because Vibhasha. Because in Sakshat Prabhuti in nature, which we saw that, because this is Vibhasha Kriya was coming down here, isn't it? So the Sakshat Prabhuti in nature, which he's talking about, which we already discussed that. So Tiras Sakshat Mithya Namas Pradus. So we can have it Namah Kritva, Namaskritya. But not Namaskritva. So that Gita Prayoga, we also saw that. Pradus, so Avishkritva, Avishkritya, Pradishkritva, Pradishkritya. So when they use with the verb optionally Gatis, indicative animal past word therefore will have two forms, Sakshat Kritva, Sakshat Kritya. Okay. Time is going up. So anyway, this completes the section on Gati Samasaha. So very quickly is that Gati Samasaha means start from the Gati Sanya first of all. Sanya comes from Pradeha Usarga. You can start back here. Pragar Ishvara Nipataha Chadayo Satve Pradeha Usarga Kriyayo Gatishcha. Usarga get the Gati Sanya. upasarga sanya is only for pradeha kriya yoge. Then uryadi chvida, chashcha, we saw the chi pratyaya last time in the class, uryadi gana we saw today. Then we saw this one, adaranadaryoho sadasati. So satkritya comes in Gita. Asatkritam avajñatam tat tamasamudharatam, chapter 17. Bhushane alam, very prasiddham idam alankara, etc. Alankritya. But it's only bhushana arthe, not paryapto, not samarthye, not in patishedhe. Then we got the purovyayam, we got astancha, astangamya, astangatya, we saw that. Tirantardho, we saw that. Vibhasha krini, same thing, tirantardha, vibhasha krini. So tiro bhuya, only one form. Then we got the two forms over here. That linked us to this one. That linked us back to this section 8.3. Which is tirasonya tirasyam. So we got those three forms. So we got tirahkritya, tiraskritya, but then tirahkritva. We got that third form. So that is 1472. And then we got saksha prabhuti nicha. It's very important gana. One thing is one gana you want to remember in this section. It is saksha prabhuti nicha. What does it require? With dhatu kru, vibhasha gadisanya. So you can have both forms, sakshat kritya, sakshat kritva, and chvirthe. That is what this is, because there was the vartikam on that. When you saw sakshat prabhuti nicha, sakshat prabhuti nicha, says chvirthe iti vachyam. That is the vartikam there. So we saw that sutram. And then we saw anatyadhana urasi manasi kritya. But this is also optionally, also get manasi kritva. And then nityam haste prana upayamane is to marry haste kritya, prana kritya. So svikara iti chanye, it means only to accept according to some. Okay, so next time is up, we will go to the Upapada Samasa. Upapada Samasa is he's taken very short in this lesson. In a later lesson, he's going to introduce some more pratyayas from this section. But to give you homework, firstly, Upapada Samasa has only one sutram. Samasa Vidhakam Sutram Ekam Eva Vartate. There's only one sutram to say. Is the sutram which you're going to use, at least for the most part, is going to be Upapadam Ating. Upapadam Ating. So that's for homework, Upapadam Ating. This is one of the special cases. They don't need to have a Subantam ready to form a Samasa. Normally you have Supa. Like Rajnya Putraha, so Rajnya Purusha, Raja Purusha. But in this sutram, Upapadam Samarthena Shabdantarena Samasyate. Atingantascha Samasa Bhavati. So as long as it's not a Tingantam, in Upapadam can compound with a related term. Doesn't have to be a Subantam. So we see it next time. So Upapadam Ating, you study that sutra for homework. Now this requires us to know what gets the Upapada Sanya. You're going to see all this next time, just giving homework for next time. So that is going to come in chapter 3. Because when Panini starts Dvitiya Adhikara, Dvitiya Dhato iti Adhikara, Dvitiya Adhikara Prarabhyate, Anantaram Sutram is Tatra Upapadam Saptami Stham. Tatra means Asmin Dvitiya Dhato Adhikare. In this Dhato Adhikara, a technical Saptami, the term indicated by that will be the Upapadam. So we have to, because Upapadamating is 219, but then we have to get Upapada Sanya to then be able to form those compounds. So difficult thing is not Upapadamating. Difficult thing is to find the appropriate sutram in the 3rd chapter, which is in the Dhato Adhikara, to be able to justify the Upapada Sanya and then get the, once you get that, you can form the Samasa. So we need to know which term qualifies as an Upapadam so that a particular dhatu or any maybe more than one dhatu, many dhatus, can take a pratyaya, so Vishesha pratyaya, to form a Samasa. We see it next time. And most of these come between 3 to 1 to 3 to 100, many of them. many of them from Karmanyans. If you want to scan this section for next time, from 321 to 32, so first 2219, 3192, and then scan the section from 321 to 32100. In the book over here, he has used 321. We have used 3216, Chareshtaha. We have used 325 with the Vartikam. We have used 324. Also these are very famous sutras, by the way. 321 Karmanyan, 324 Supistaha, and then we may also require to have some fun with 3253 to form the Shatrugnaha. You spend some time on that. So if you can read a Dhatu Vritti and a Dhatu with the Dhatu Han, this Shatrugnaha is Krutagnaha. Interesting form. You have to look at either 325 Vartikam or 3253 with Bahulam. We'll do it next time. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamo Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Paranam Paratanam Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhutame Bhora Mama Muddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanane.